Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda, giving you all the latest updates on anything, all things Ravens. I got so much good news to tell you. Please hit the subscribe button, like the video. Let's dive into it. First up, I love this. I love this. I love this. So, Ravens and Colts yesterday had a joint practice, and you know for a fact that there are going to be some, you know, tension brewing there because it's an opposing team. You guys have been practicing for months against your own squad, so it's kind of like, okay, now we can actually let loose a little bit here, and it did. Scuffle breaks out, fists fly at the practice, so much so that Nate Wiggins was kicked out of the joint practice because he was the one throwing the fists. Nate Wiggins is a dog. Come on, I hope that he doesn't get punched at all for it. I bet you Harbaugh, of course Harbaugh had to deliver a statement and say, hey, we don't condone that type of behavior. But I bet you, off the record, he said to Nate, "You're a dog." I hope that's what he said to him. Like, hey, you can't do that. But off the record, dude, fist pumped him. Reason why this scuffle happened was because one of the Colts players shoved a Ravens player. Nate Williams came over to defend, and benches were cleared. Coaches had to break it up, and eventually everything was calmed down, and Nate took the fall for it. So, but Nate Wiggins, you're a dog, man. You should I'm behind you 100%. The entire flock is behind you 100%. Funny thing that happened afterward is after the practice was over, Marlon Humphrey went up to him. You know how Marlon Humphrey is on Instagram, likes to interview the players after something happens, whether it's a win or something like this happens. Went over to Nate, went on Instagram Live and said, "So Nate, how do you feel after today's practice?" You could just see it in his face. You could see it in Kyle Hamilton's face. It was like, mm-hmm. So these guys are ready for the season to begin. Of course I am don't condone the fighting on the field, but it's competitive. It gets competitive. At the end of the day, they probably apologized and everyone went on their merry way. Moving on, so Charlie Kolar was actually the star of this joint practice. Made a lot of good plays, made a lot of nice catch and runs, a touchdown in the red zone, and there was a tough catch over the middle from behind. Our tight end room is talented, man. Even with likely currently nursing that foot, Kolar's picking up the slack, getting a lot of reps in. So we're seeing a lot of good, development happening from them. I think our tight end room is just stacked. Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, Charlie Kolar, all of them are going to share the load, I believe. Isaiah Likely will probably, when he comes back, again, like I've said in previous videos, will probably share the tight end one load with Mark Andrews, and Charlie Kolar will get some reps in as well. But it just goes to show that our tight end room, there's no problems there at all. Like everyone in that room is just talented, and will make the plays and put up some highlight reels and catch touchdowns. That's all we need from them. Some good blocking for the running backs and Lamar. Just there's no need to worry about our tight end room at all. It is it's uber talented, and we can rely on all three of them. Moving on here, so here's some interesting news: is that the Ravens, rumor has it, are going to make Lamar Jackson the highest paid NFL player in history. Obviously, because they did it once, and then 5 minutes later, it, Justin Herbert was signed. You know, he was at one point the highest paid player in NFL history when he signed his contract before. And then, like I said, 5 minutes later, that he was not. So Ravens are going to make him the highest paid NFL player again. Rumor has it that this contract is going to be signed before the season begins. Mind you, that Eric DeCosta has a lot more experience working with a guy like Lamar now that he was able to get him signed. He knows how Lamar is on the business aspect of it. So I think that this just means that contract negotiations have gone a lot more smoothly than they did before because, Lamar asked for a trade, asked, like, was going off on Twitter talking about some details about the contract negotiations with like he was mentioning how 3-year deal isn't enough, and then finally we got the contract signed on draft night. So I think that this period will be a lot faster and a lot smoother, according to rumors. That's just how it's going to be. And we also need to get him extended because his draft dead, his dead cap hit, excuse me, is going to be pretty substantial. So if we were ever going to sign, or re-sign more players, or get some capital, gotta get Lamar signed before 2026. So this is just a rumor, but it's picking up speed that the Ravens are aiming to sign him before the regular season begins, and that's not a lot of time. I'm just pointing this out there. Mind you, to a player perspective, you have to talk with your player every day to kind of narrow down what they want and how we can negotiate, but also the player had an agent willing to talk to the office to while the player is practicing, and then just kind of negotiate from there. This isn't the case. The player is the agent. So Lamar has to speak with Eric DeCosta and sit down with him about what contract suits him the best. But I believe, again, like I said earlier, Eric DeCosta and Lamar Jackson know how each other work, and were able to come to an agreement once. I am 100% in belief that they're going to do it again. No worries about this this time. They have I think a much better business relationship after knowing what the habits they have. And I don't know if Lamar is going to be signed before the regular season begins, but I know he's going to be signed before 2026. Moving on, so apparently Mike Green, the man has so much potential, and especially looking at the practice videos online, just seeing how fluid he looks on the edge. Oh, I really hope he just feeds in his first year. I want to see, rookie year Myles Garrett or something like that. Rookie year TJ Watts, like something for of that caliber. From the way that he's looking in practice, it's pretty. I don't know about that far, but again, it looks pretty good. Like we finally found an edge rusher that's going to hit the ground running. In the joint practices, towards the end, they had one-on-ones, and Mike Green just dominated. He just outplayed everyone. He looked fantastic, and it really made a lot of coaches' eyebrows go up, because it's like, hey, this guy, maybe we found that piece that we've been missing on the edge pattern here. So again, looking forward to seeing Mike Green play in the regular season, but this is just promising. I'm crossing my fingers here that this is what we're going to see in the regular season. Thank you for tuning in to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda. Again, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I will keep you all posted on anything and all things Ravens as we get closer to regular season. Have a good one, everyone.